All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. Like I said, my name is Samuel Bean. I'm the VP of Sales for the Bill Trading Academy. And today we're going to have a real nice conversation about money, about the trading industry, investment industry, how to create cash flow, but more importantly, how to build a financial firewall around your household economy and your business economy. Make sure that regardless of what happens, you put yourself in a position where you're recession proof and you and your family can really go out there and still thrive while other people are trying to survive based on you being prepared. So, a little bit about me, real quick here. Background in business. Been in business and entrepreneurship since I got home from the military in '96, and for many, many moons, I've been learning under people, and my wife and I have made some really good money. We've been blessed to, again, learn from some of the best to do it. We made seven figures in three different industries, and that's not to brag or to impress you, but to impress upon you that I'm definitely qualified to talk about money. And, not only am I qualified, I guess I did something that most people don't do, is I willingly came out of retirement to actually participate in this company that you guys are going to be, learning about tonight. So, with that said, since we are going to be talking about money, you've had an opportunity to read the disclaimer, as I was communicating with you. But I'll go ahead and read it for you anyway. But as it states, I am not a financial advisor, and all information shared during this event is for educational and informational purposes only. The Bill Network, Omni, and Algo Alpha do not guarantee income or financial results. Trading involves risk, and past performance does not guarantee future success. Okay? Participants are encouraged to use discretion and seek independent financial advice before making trading decisions. And it's always wise to seek counsel. Okay? But make sure that when you seek counsel, guys, make sure you're asking people who have made millions of dollars in these industries. Don't go ask a neighbor or family or friend, people who don't know anything about trading, or people who don't know anything about investing, or people who don't know anything about creating cash flow, right? Ask people who have done it already, right? And lastly, do not ever give anyone your money to trade for you, right? You want to be the person that does that, or at least managing the accounts that are being traded on your behalf. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get and start this conversation. Let's see here. So when you look at money, guys, there's a gentleman by the name of Robert Kiyosaki who wrote a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. We all business people, we've all read that book over and over again, and a simple read. And he also wrote a book called The Four Quadrants. And when you look at the four quadrants, guys, here are the four. Okay, and so when you look at the four, you normally hear what type of people are in those quadrants. And today, I just want to kind of give you, not just that, look at it, but from another perspective and why people are in those quadrants, right? And so you look at the E quadrant, this is where everybody hangs out at. This is where everybody starts at as well. Even the people who end up in the other ones, most of them started in the E and worked their way out of it. Okay. But most people who reside there, they live there, they do so because they want security, they want job security. They're okay with paychecks and benefits, right? And not knowing, whether, tomorrow they'll have a job or not. Okay. And so, but these are people who, they want security over freedom, right? They want security over risk, right? And so, they're willing to go ahead and work those 40 hours a year, knowing that, they may be doing that for the rest of their life, right? And so you have some other people who are the S quadrant. These are people who are self-employed. These are the people who, again, they realize they have some talent, they have some skills that people need and they can specialize in. And so they became their own boss. They like independence. And many of these people are people who, let's just say, they value being their own boss. They don't like being told what to do, and they like being able to come and go as they please, right? But this is definitely skill-based income and opportunity. Now, when you look at the business owners, business owners are people who, they build systems, they build around ideas and concepts, and they take full advantage of opportunities as they come their way. And they have companies that have 100+ employees, and they do so because they understand that every time they hire somebody, they're pretty much buying them wholesale and selling them retail. And that retail profit that they get from the work that their employees do keeps them from ever having to have a job. Right. And so That's why they own businesses, because they put people to work so they don't have to. Okay. And then when you look at the I quadrant, these are the investors. These are people who say, you know what, I just really don't trust people. I want to put my money to work for me. I know my money has no emotion. My money is not going to steal any money from me, and it's going to do exactly what I put it out there to do. When you look at currency, they understand that you know they're going to make money in two ways predominantly. These are passive incomes where they create assets that once they get those going and build those properly, they're going to yield returns without them actually having to be there. And then residual income also, they're going to build subscription-based companies and to make sure they now have residual reoccurring income again coming in their absence. So these are people who they really understand money at the highest level. That's why it's only 1% of them. Okay? And so that's important. So I just want to kind of give you guys, the idea of those four concepts and why people reside there. But you want to make sure that you get as close to the one and not to the one as soon as possible, because the people at the one eventually, are the ones who create enough wealth to where they never have to work another job again as long as they live. Okay. And so we've all seen what happens with companies, even though you might have businesses and things like that, but anything that can go wrong will go wrong. It's kind of like Murphy's Law, right? And so when you actually have a company, things like COVID happen, things like tariffs happen, things like, just a lot of different things. The government happens, right? And these are things that are out of your control that can actually affect your company, right? So this is why you want to build your own economy under your roof, and you want to make sure that you build some income insurance by either learning how to trade, which is something that they can never take away from you, or learning how to invest and manage your investments. Okay, which is another thing nobody can ever take from you. Okay, you had just like COVID for an example, 30,000 companies closed down, and you couldn't do anything about it. 2 million people went home with no jobs after that. Guess what? There was nothing for them to do. There's nowhere for them to go. There are no jobs out there for them to be, for them to actually, go out there and get, right? And so those people had no plan B. They did not prepare. They did not have income insurance. And you do not, trust me, you do not want to be caught up in a situation like that with individuals like that. So why should you learn how to trade with us? Guys, you can actually become your own boss, trade anywhere, no boundaries, no borders, no employees, just no load or no overhead at all, right? The only revenue that you're using is pretty much the income that you're using to, learn how to trade with your trainers, and then the money that you're putting in the market. Okay? And so you actually have the ability to supplement your income and work your way out of a job, put yourself in a position also where you can learn something that you can teach your kids, right? And when I look at me in my childhood, yeah, the only people traded who were trading at that time were people on Wall Street, right? They didn't have access to trading at home like we do, right? That we're in an age right now, guys, where we could do anything and everything that our forefathers could. My father was a plumber. He could not teach me how to trade. It wasn't available to him. My mother was a substitute teacher. She could not teach me how to trade. But I look at this call and I see people like Latoya Landry on here who her son Cameron is now trading with her. And her daughter is an actual investor as a college student. I look at Dale Boudreaux, who his son, Dale John is trading with him, right? I look at Iggy, who's on here, and Iggy's oldest daughter is now about to learn how to trade with him, and she's probably already started learning as we speak. And so these are things that I'm really excited about, because we are now putting people in a position where they can now start to break generational curses that were handed to them, by their fathers and their grandparents and things like that. So that's a reason, guys. This is a big reason enough. Okay, but that financial firewall I was telling you about, that income insurance, that's what you want, and you no longer have to actually rely on the banks and jobs and outdated systems. When you look at the banks, and I always like to tell, have this conversation about banks because some people really don't understand it. The banks can't make money without your money. Okay. When you open up your bank account, what you do is you sign that little slip. That slip is a power of attorney that allows them to use your money in any way, shape, form, or fashion that they please, and it's guaranteed and insured. So they're not worried about losing it. Okay? But this is what happens because you don't know how to trade and invest. You put your money in the bank instead of putting it in the market. Okay. What they do is they take your money that you deposit in the bank and they put it in the market, and they have their traders and their algorithms trade your money for them. Okay. So think about that for a second, guys. These banks are getting 300% return, 500% return, 5,000% return on your money. The longer you leave it in there, the more they're going to use it, and they're not going to pay you a dime for it. Okay. So again, you got to do better once you know better. Okay. Fastest growing trading demographics here, guys, and we know I'm in love with my junior and senior college students who watched you work the 40-40-40 plan. They watched you, have a job for many, many years, and they don't want that lifestyle. Okay. They're dropping out and they're doing things like AI, they're doing trading, they're investing, they're doing a lot of things that you couldn't do at that age back in the day because it wasn't available to you, but now it is. Okay. Next generation entrepreneurs and digital nomads who grew up with crypto, YouTube, TikTok education, ambitious professionals who want to take control of their income and their own time, commission sales pros, who are looking for more reliable revenue to counter slow seasons, trading communities guys that are looking for an actual edge when it comes to elite tools, technology, algorithms, and education. We definitely have that here. And then you have influencers and creators who are looking for a new market to learn and monetize because they're tired of pitching gadgets and all these fly-by-night situations. They want something that they can build that's going to be around for a long time. Okay. Now, when it comes to build, obviously, we really do plan, our futures. We do work hard. We do focus on wealth creation on a lot of levels. And while we're doing that, we like to enjoy ourselves. And the cool part about enjoying ourselves is that we do it at a discount, right? And we don't pay full price for our travel, guys. I mean, I'll talk to you about how that works because we actually get that for free. So we partner with a company that gives us all of our members, their own web portal, and then all the freedoms that come with wealth creation, time freedom, financial freedom, stress freedom, and location freedom. All of that comes with it. Okay. Now, when you look at what we trade, I talked to a gentleman today. We just sitting down and he trades forex, right, and his company. And when I'm talking to him, I'm showing him that we don't just trade forex. There's nothing wrong with trading just forex, but we want to be able to cater to the whole entire population of people who want to learn how to trade. So forex, crypto, futures, options. As we have people who can trade in all of them and people who can teach you how to trade all of them, right? And with that comes US 30, gold, oil, all that good stuff that you might want to trade, CFDs, all that stuff is in our community that you can learn. Okay. Now, here are all of the trading training curriculum that you have access to, foundational training from learning about pairs all the way down to demo trading when you're trading with somebody else's money while you get used to entering into the market and taking profits. Okay. So if you're taking a loss, you want to take the losses and learn from them, but with somebody else's money. Okay. Then you have the trading essentials where you're learning how to actually make a trading plan all the way down to trade psychology where you want to make sure that when you go into the market, you don't be emotional, you're not gambling, you're not second guessing yourself. You're not scared, right? It's everything is going to be done based on you creating strategies and developing disciplines and using the tools and software that we have available for you in the form of scanners, indicators, and our algorithmic trading companies. Now, a lot of people who are and let's say they have a desire to learn how to trade, but there are reasons why they don't, which, one, they don't have access to traders. Two, all they have is videos and PDFs, and so they don't have a lot of live trainings or a lot of live interaction. Here's the exact opposite, guys. Monday through Friday, we actually have on sometimes multiple times a day, different traders trading live, different traders training live. So you have access to have communication with them while they're live, asking questions while they're live, as well as the community, that you can ask questions in that community as well when it comes to, anything that you need help with. Okay. So you're not going to be abandoned. It's the exact opposite. We really encourage you to reach out, in those communities, get those questions answered. So that's not going to be a problem with us. Okay. Now, when it comes to the traders, obviously, very, very diversified room of people. And we wanted to make sure that we were not just diversified with what they trade, but the languages that they trade in. As we have Spanish traders who trade in English and Spanish, like Jesse Alada Cuenta, who not just trades futures, but he also trades CFDs in English and Spanish. Okay. Forex master himself, Mr. Donnie Pips, who as I speak about, training live, he's training live right after I finish tonight. All right, but he can train you on just about anything. But he's mastered forex, and he's also one of the persons who has strategies that are being utilized in different companies all around the world in the industry of trading. His E3 strategy. He also is a person who created the technology that we use, and I'm going to introduce you to in moments. Okay, and then you have Roxy Castellano, who, again, bilingual. Teaches options in English and Spanish. And guess what? Guys, she's also in a position where she's training and teaching children how to actually trade. And I'm not going to go through everybody, guys, but as you can see, again, we have people who trade in different categories and teach in different categories. So let's jump into the tools and the software real quick here. So Einstein Scanner, as you can see, Einstein t-shirt. I love Einstein. My wife does too. And I'm gonna tell you why in just a second. But imagine having the smartest piece of trading technology in the world making financial decisions with you. Okay. And that's exactly what Einstein does. And how it works is, when you look at Einstein, you want to look at Einstein as your personal assistant. Okay. You want to make sure that, you have your alerts set. So when Einstein alerts you, what it's doing is it's basically looking at all the setups for you, finding the prime points for you to actually enter into the market, and it's going to tell you, when to actually take a trade, based on what you learned from Donnie Pips and other traders. So when you look at that Einstein scanner, guys, it's going to say, hey, look, push the button, and you should be understanding why you push the button based on you being in those classes. Okay, it's kind of like riding. It's like trading with training wheels, if you will. And my wife, she loves it. She's a growing, budding trader, and she has her alerts go to her watch. And so when Einstein alerts her on her watch, she runs to the dining room table, which is where she has her laptop open to the market already. She analyzes the alert that Einstein sent her, and she pushes the button. She gets into the market, and she's been winning. So I'm excited about that, guys. And so, again, we're making it easier for you to learn how to trade. We're taking the fear out of learning how to trade, the guesswork out of learning how to actually try out of trading. Or we're eliminating a lot of the things that people are not trading because of. So when you look at Omni is a trading company, a trading platform, and the technology on that platform can mirror advanced algorithms, allow professional traders to execute trades based on predefined criteria. Okay. Now, it is designed to minimize human intervention and capitalize on market opportunities faster, because we understand that the numbers say, hey, right now, 60 to 70% of the trades that are being taken in the market today are being taken by algorithms. Okay. So when you look at the benefits, obviously, it's doing it with speed, efficiency, and reduced emotional bias. And the thing that people are liking about it the most is that it's approved member of the NFA and CFTC. So when that goes live, guys, real soon, what's going to happen is you'll have access to that technology. Now, Alpha, I'll go Alpha, the one that we have right now, the one that I have my money in, is similar, to Omni, but this one has over 3 years, of actual results, over 3,000 actual clients and users. And it's an institutional grade trading software that can mirror advanced algorithms as well, as professional traders to execute those trades on your behalf. Now, I want to go back to institutional grade trading. That software is the same software that banks use, same software that they use to trade in your portfolios like 401ks, investment firms, hedge fund companies. They use the same, like the level of institutional grade trading softwares. So this is not a retail software that your buddy may have. Okay. But these users choose a broker that's available to them, and they set up their trading accounts. So you can switch brokers anytime you want to. By the way, that's on you. And by the way, nobody touches your money but you. You send it directly to the broker, and you pull it out. It comes from the broker directly to whatever account you choose. Okay. Now, well, you look at the setup also, you can set it up for manual, management, or you can set it up for non-manual. You can just, it's automated. Okay. You can use, let me just say this, when you look at this system, I'm so excited about it because I've never seen a system that allows you to not just pause it, start it, and stop it, but you can follow the trades the whole entire time that those trades are live. And not only can you follow them, guys, if you see it in a profit, guess what? You can take profit from that trade. I've never seen anything like that before, right? So now when I said don't let people trade for you, we have an algorithm that starts the trade for you. And now when it's trading and in the market for you, you can just watch it. And if you see a profit, you can take it. Love that. That control and that power is in your hand, right? But you can also, lastly, activate trades yourself, but I wouldn't suggest that unless you actually know how to trade. Now, this is another, um, let's say, disclaimer when it comes to Algo Alpha, and you can screenshot it, read it later. Not going to read it now, but they're just telling you that risk, are always associated with trading. Okay, if a person tells you they have a algorithm that gets 100% hit, 95% hit, run. Okay. And so, again, don't listen to people's promises. Ask them to show you proof. Right. And so, this company, when it comes to Algo Alpha, there's proof, over 3 years of proof. And I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. But I'll show you at this moment, you have four strategies that people are using right now. And I need to update these slides because the percentage of growth on these portfolios, guys, has grown and over the last 4 months, but 192% growth, on, I would say, one of their least aggressive portfolios over the last 3 years, right? Think about traditional trading, traditional investing. Let's say if you get something, let's say S&P 500, and that's at its peak, let's say it does 15% per year, right? Compounded over time, that's 45% in 3 years. You're looking at this one, however, this is 192%, and this is the least aggressive. Okay. Now, when you look at the crypto alpha portfolio, this is semi-aggressive, right? It's 658%. I'm sorry, the crypto alpha, this is the very aggressive, right? This is the one where, you want to make sure you have your Mylanta and everything else close to you because it's going to send you on a nice little roller coaster ride of emotions, right? But what happens is this, when you have the ability to ride the wave of crypto and the algorithm is doing its job, as you can see here, from 192% to 658% over 3 years, there was a stark difference in that. And again, you want to make sure you pick the portfolio that fits the type of risk that you can endure. All right. Now, here's the semi risky portfolio. This is the alpha trade. It's kind of somewhere in the middle, 420% on growth when it comes to that over 3 years. And then lastly, the newest one that was, I think, launched in September or October this year, September, I think, 84% growth in just a couple of months. Let's just say 4 or 5 months. Okay. So if you had again, just 1 year of growth, on just a regular portfolio, 15%, return on it, even if you got 20%, this has actually produced 84% returns in those 4 or 5 months. Now, by the way, I promise you, a place where you can actually go out there and do a little bit of research. Well, when you look at myfxbook.com, myfxbook.com shows you everything you need to know about, all of these traders and all of these algorithms that are trading for you. So if a person is a great trader, as they say, I look them up on myfxbook.com and you can see all of their wins and losses. Just like if you look up Algo Alpha on myfxbook.com, you can go and see month for month what they did in each month. The months they won, they lost in, whatever it was, you can see exactly what went on. Okay. So remember, men and women lie, evidence doesn't. So if you don't find a way to make money while you're asleep, then you will work until you die, says, Warren Buffett. Okay. And I've been following this man for years. And a lot of the wealth that I created has been based on some of the philosophies that, like this one, that he's just shared with you guys, right? And so, um, well, tell you guys we based seven figures in three different industries. Two of those were subscription-based arenas, right? And arenas where we were building assets that worked for us, and we didn't have to be there. And so, I do believe in passive and residual income. Okay. I talked to you guys a little bit earlier about working hard and playing harder. When you look at that premium travel benefit that comes with, your membership here, guys, you have your own private wholesale pricing booking engine. You save up to 70% on your stays when it comes to hotels and resorts, and you save up to 35% on your cruises, right? And we are extremely competitive because there are no commissions to be had. We put 100% of our commissions in the savings, so you can actually travel a whole lot more. Okay. The 4 and 5 star hotel and resort stays for 2 and 3 star prices. Over a million properties globally, guys, that we utilize. Over 3,000 discounted curated trips that are available to be taken. And all those trips are tax deductible. When you look at those curated trips, guys, those are the same 3,000 locations that we use to allow you to take a annual $4 or $5,000 value stay, every year on your anniversary. Okay? And then last but not least, we don't want to forget the family. We don't want to forget your friends, your colleagues, your girls, your boys, your people who you love that you like to travel with. And we don't want them to pay full price either. So they can actually have the membership, right, for $29 a month and less than $350 a year. You'll be seeing them take deals and get savings on trips where they might say $350 a day. Okay. And so it's going to pay for itself over and over and over again. Now, talked about the anniversary trips, guys. Costa Rica, Greece, Thailand, over 3,000 different locations for you. Okay. But here's some that you can actually book right away, real time. Okay. And these are not, some things that we created. When you go to the site, they have a link that they'll give you that you can test drive and go out there and look and see what's available on your bucket list, right? Like some of these places like South Africa, Miami. And these are 5 star, 4 and 5 star vacations, right? All inclusive in Mexico. Cancun to be specific. Greece, 5 stars. Bora Bora, 5 stars. Dubai, 5 stars, right? 34%, 25%, 50% savings. Rome, Las Vegas, Tulum, right? These are places that people really want to go. And they don't just want to go, they want to go at a discount. Okay. And so you get that for no extra charge just by being a member. Right? And what does it cost to be a member? This is criminal. $199. You're really, this is a introductory pricing type of situation for our core basics. You get everything I talked about earlier, minus the technology, right? Minus the investment, portfolios, but you get access to our traders, our live training and trading, our communities, our videos, our PDFs. You get access to all of that for $199 one time and $99 a month. Okay. Now, when it comes to the elite access, guys, that's $499. And what you get with that is everything that comes with the core basics. Now you get access to Einstein, the scanner for Forex market only. And then you also get to choose from three different strategies when it comes to algo alpha, omni, and anything else that we may bring to the table, which that's a hint. We have something coming that's going to be trading gold, right? Live, and it should be here within a week. So again, that can also be included in the elite package as well. I can't wait to put money in that one. But $499 one time, $149 a month. Okay. So again, I got something I want to make sure I share with you guys after kind of tell you guys about the premiere. Now the premiere, again, this is the big boy of them all. This is one where everybody either gets started at or they work their way up to it based on value. But you get everything in the core basics, but you also get the Einstein scanner for all of the markets, right? Not just Forex. You also get access to up to 7 strategies now. Okay, so I showed you if you want to use all 4 portfolios, all 4 strategies in Algo Alpha and two in Omni when Omni comes on board, and then one with the gold, guys, that's 7, right? If you want to spread your money out and diversify that way, you have that ability with the Premier, 999 one time and 199 a month. Now, this is why I want to share something with you guys because when you look at value, I want to make sure that you don't make the mistake. that some people, make when they think that, well, I can't afford, 9.99. Well, first of all, most of you, if not all of you, live here in the United States of America, a place where people should not have money problems, right? Things happen, but they happen to people who are prepared, and people who are prepared have discretionary revenue and income and things that are working for them where they can put their hands on $1,000. Get started where you really can. But let me show you what the value is though. Okay. Algo Alpha, that company by itself. Okay. They don't train you how to trade. All they do is give you access to their platform, and they allow their algorithms to trade for you. Now, here's this. If you go to them directly, right? Just for the first one, the first one, the one strategy is $5,000 to get started and $4.99 a month, just for one strategy. No Einstein, no trading. Okay. The second two strategies is $10,000 and $4.99 a month. The third one, okay, they call it the bundle, has three strategies, not seven, right? $25,000 down and $9.99 a month. Okay. And so when we talk about, what you can afford, guys, you can't not afford to get yourself positioned in a situation like this where you're getting this at pennies on the dollar. So we have access to that technology, guys, because we have numbers, right? We're bringing numbers to the table. So they don't have to make as much money off of each individual, right? They're getting it in bulk. So that's why the pricing is elite for us. Okay. Now, one thing I do want to share with you is this: we're about saving people money as well. Okay, we want to make sure you have more money to put into your trading accounts and more money for you to put into the trading market once you learn how to trade. So, savings is the new earning. So, if you actually find four people who want to learn how to trade or want to actually invest in our platforms, or a combination of both, right? Any four will put you in a position where you no longer have to pay the 9.99, the 99.99. Okay. With the elite access, you personally, enroll four people, just over time. You don't have to go target anybody. As you tell people how much money you're making, or as you tell people how exciting it is to trade and they have questions, we talk to them on your behalf. So they get started. Four people get started at the elite or higher as your 149 a month goes away. And same thing for the Premier Access. The 199 a month, guys, goes away if you have four people who join at some point or upgrade to the Premier package, and they're on their membership. They're paying their tuition every month. So you get a free ride, with education part of it, and you get free access to the technology like Einstein and platforms that you are actually trading that are trading for you. And guys, that's for free. So again, that's huge. Now let me share with you, for those of you who see the other side. If you're about the education, you're about the investment, and that's all you wanted to hear. At that point in time, guys, you can log off. I have three more slides I want to show you real quick here, and this is for people who, like myself, want to build a community of traders. I want to build a community. I have a goal over the next 5 years to help 10,000 people make $5,000 a month in passive and residual recurring income. And when we help people come to this platform, the company will pay us. And if a person enrolls on a basic membership, right, you're going to make anywhere from $20 to $50 per enrollment. Now, on the elite package at the 4.99, guys, anytime someone enrolls with you on the elite at 4.99, guess what? You're going to make anywhere from $100 to $200. Right? And then on the premier, anytime someone gets the 9.99 and the tuition, right? It's $200 to $400 is what they're going to pay you. Okay. And so that money, you can put that money in your trading account or your investment account. Now, these are numbers, community numbers. And again, you don't have to be aggressive and go out there and try to recruit the world, anybody at all. Guys, I'm just telling you, when you find four people over time that says, you know what, I'm just happy about getting my tuition paid for free. I have a free ride. I can learn everything the way I want to, and I don't have to worry about paying for anything. Guys, don't believe that those people who you brought in, those four, don't want to do the same thing. Okay. They're going to want to get theirs for free. Right. And so they're going to talk about what's going on with their experience. And when they do, people are going to want to come on organically. And so this is a nice, subtle indirect build, that's not like a network marketing company or anything like that, guys. This is literally people, building a community of people who are becoming more and more financially aware and who believe in building a financial firewall around their families. Okay, this is true income insurance because now with all you guys working together and sharing this opportunity with people, guess what? Now you see the incomes that are coming to you on a monthly basis that you can also put in your pocket, towards your bills, okay, or towards your investments and trading accounts. So that's how simple it is, guys. And so for us, I definitely want to say I appreciate each and every last one of you guys here for joining me this evening. Again, you could have been anywhere, but here with me, and I don't take that for granted. And as I close and as I leave you, I want to leave you with this. One thing that I understand about life is I grew up and I was my own man, and I made my own decisions, and I really worked really, really hard, and I didn't have anybody to mentor me and coach me, right? And that's because I didn't trust a lot of people. Okay? And I just want to share something with you guys that you can actually learn from my experience. You're going to have to trust somebody at some point, right? And people don't fail in life based on the lies that were told to them. People fail in life based on the truth that was told to them that they fail to believe in research. Okay. And so, guys, get back with the person and that invited you and get your questions answered. And and they have people who you can talk to, about strategy sessions and things like that, even before you make a move. They can kind of tell you what's going on and what it will look like for you as a student, right? Or as an investor or a combination of both. Either way, we're glad to have you. Look forward to working with you. And guys, we'll see you guys at the top. See you guys at the bank. And we'll definitely see you guys on the beaches of the world because of the divinity. All right. Bye bye for now, guys. Good night.